Hi, I'm Lisa Workman with the Fergus Falls Area Chamber of Commerce. Welcome to Find It in Fergus Falls. There's a lot of fun activities going on this weekend with Frostbite Festival. I invite you to check out our website at fergusfalls.com. Find out details about things like the Corporate Cup and the Game of Thrones scavenger hunt. There's ice skating all around town. There's a lot of great sporting events. Of course, the Battle of the Businesses bowling tournament will be at Northern Lanes on Saturday afternoon. And we wrap up a fun weekend of activities with the Kiwanis Pancake Breakfast and the Sertoma Ice Fishing Derby on Sunday, just in time or getting everything finished up before the big Super Bowl game. So hope everyone has a great Frostbite Festival weekend and have some fun out there. Well, we've got great guests joining us on the show today. Nicole Mellis and Brittany Jaskin with Knut Nelson Home Care and Hospice will be joining us. They just recently celebrated their 70th anniversary of service in the Fergus Falls area throughout Otter Tail and Wadena counties. So we're looking forward to having them on the show, and they're going to share some information that's really quite important when it comes to home care and hospice. So stay tuned.
Hey sports fans, Craig Olson Sports Live is moving to a new location. Starting September 10th, every Monday night at 6:30, we'll be out at Socials Bar and Grill in Fergus Falls. Come join us and get any single topping pizza for just $10. Meet Craig and his roster of weekly guests, area coaches, players, and you, the fans. We look forward to seeing you all out at Socials Bar and Grill this season here in Fergus Falls.
Welcome back to Find It in Fergus Falls. I'm joined by part of the Knut Nelson team, the Fergus Falls area representatives, at least for today. Brittany Jaskin is here along with Nicole Mellis.
Hello.
And glad to have you guys on the show.
Thank you.
Happy 70th birthday.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, a little late, but it was, we just turned 70 last year in 2018 as a corporation. So
That's fantastic.
yes, it was. It was huge, and we did a thing with the Alexandria Historical Society for our 70th anniversary, so it was a kind of a big deal. So.
Absolutely, it is a big deal.
Yeah.
And of course, Knut Nelson has had a great presence in Fergus Falls over the past few years, and we were lucky enough to be roommates or office mates with Nicole for a while our building was in transformation.
Yes, just right over here on Union Street in the Highland Building is where we're located.
Can't miss it, right next to Holiday.
Yes.
But
awesome.
like you said, we're celebrating or just wrapping up the celebration for 70 years.
Yeah.
So we should talk a little bit about how Knut Nelson was started.
Well, actually, our founder was Knut Nelson. He was a late senator and governor of the state of Minnesota. And when he passed, he left money behind at bequest to take care of older adults. So that was kind of the start and the vision and the mission of Knut Nelson and the legacy that he left behind.
And I think what's neat about it is that a lot of people will remember that name and remember, that figure in Minnesota history. So what a nice tie-in.
Yes, and so we were established in 1948.
Okay.
So started out taking care of folks in like a care center setting and that type of thing, to where we've evolved today. So now our footprint is huge in West Central Minnesota,
right,
including the Fergus Falls area.
Yeah, so tell us, so Brittany, you're serving the kind of the regional area. Tell us about the region that Knut Nelson serves.
Yeah, so we have home care and hospice here in the Fergus Falls area. So our team is local, and we have nursing, physical therapy, occupational therapy, speech therapy, as well as home health aides. We're also a Medicare certified company, so we're able to bill Medicare for those services as long as you're homebound, and there's other guidelines that go with other insurances that we also are able to bill. But we do provide all those services in the home, and our hopes and our goals is to keep the client safe in their home
as long as
they can.
Right.
Yeah.
And I think that's the beauty today is that more and more people are able to stay in their homes because of, thank goodness for traveling staff.
Yes.
For folks that come right to the home and provide the cares that people need.
Well, and one of the things I say in the senior centers when I'm out and about in the community is, there's the stigma sometimes of home care, and I'm like, take advantage of it. Because we love to get you better, to get you back out in the community, or if you're rehabbing from a surgery or a wound or those type of things, we love to come in and help you to get you better, to get you back out there.
Right.
So that's the goal. That's the end purpose.
You're kind of like working yourselves right out of a job, aren't you?
Kind of. So I always just say, just take the help. I mean, gosh, having an extra set of eyes on you after a surgery,
right,
can prevent rehospitalization, infections, those type of things. To have that skilled nurse, that RN coming into your home, just to take a second look at you and make sure you're coming along the way you need to, or if we need to make a shift or those type of things, and work as a team with your physician. That's the key. So
and the other thing too is that when you bring in home care, it alleviates some of the pressure from the traditional caregiver, which is typically a spouse or potentially a parent or sibling or whatever that situation is. But that can be very demanding on that the person who doesn't need the care, the caregiver.
Yeah, and so I just say, ask if you get the help, take it, because we want to get you better. We want to get you out and going again. So
absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, and that's why like in Fergus Falls, there isn't a Knut Nelson facility, you know what I mean? There's not a place where people live.
Right. Well, we do actually, in the greater Fergus Falls area, we are the managing partner at Pelican Valley and Pelican Rapids.
Oh, fantastic.
So there is housing available within the greater Fergus Falls area from Knut Nelson.
Right.
And then in our outlier areas, we have Crystal Brook and Park Rapids, and then Grand Arbor, Nelson Gables, and the Care Center in Alexandria.
So really, you've got some great facilities that folks can go to, too.
Yeah. So it kind of all, part of our mission statement is to enrich the lives of those we serve, and there's so many different ways that we do it in various programs. But again, locally here in Fergus Falls, the two primary are home care and hospice.
Right. So truly, you'll see the Knut Nelson team out and about.
Oh, yes.
In driveways.
I bump into them everywhere. So yeah, it's really cool. And we work with assisted livings. We work with adult residential care centers, that type of thing. So we're all out and about. So
it doesn't really matter where people call home. You guys can bring the care to them.
Yep. Yeah.
Fantastic. Well, and you talked a little bit about the mission, Nicole. Talk about a little bit of the basis of Knut Nelson. What type of organization and some of those foundational things.
Well, and Brittany, you can help join in too here. So we're a nonprofit, and we also have a Christian value system, and we have a governing board. We have local churches that are part of our board, and we just, it's amazing as a company what we do and how we look, after the clients, our employees, so many things.
One of the big things too that we do is volunteered time off. So each of our employees gets 8 hours a year to give back to the community, and they get to choose what sort of event that they participate in, and then they get paid their hourly wage to go and be a part of those activities in the community.
Oh, that's fantastic. So they could help out maybe with a church fundraiser or filling the backpacks for United Way school supplies or those type of things.
And locally, we've already done bell ringing for Salvation Army here in Fergus Falls. We were stationed at Service Foods. Thank you, Service Foods, for letting us be inside because it was cold. And seeing all the friendly faces coming in and the generosity of the community was just above and beyond when we were bell ringing. I was so touched, and to see people having like the other generation, like the kids come put the money in the bucket and understand that giving part of it was just refreshing.
Pretty neat when you've got two Christian-based organizations helping each other.
Yes.
And Salvation Army just announced they reached their goal too. So thank you to your team. Way to go.
And then we've also worked the Lake Region 5K run walk. We sponsor a water station, and then employees come and help hand out water. And it's kind of funny. We had like a little game going of water or Gatorade and figuring out what the runners would prefer. And it was about a 50-50. It was interesting. So sometimes the water people felt a little snubbed, but they got over it.
It's kind of fun when you can have some fun with your teammates, with the people that you work with. And I'm sure a lot of times folks are out in the community, so they're not necessarily working side by side with each other. So that's a nice benefit too. And I've heard nothing but great things from your employees. I've met a number of them throughout the involvement that Knut Nelson has had in Fergus Falls, and people really like being a part of the team. So, Brittany, are there some things that, as you guys are looking at adding to the team, the types of people that you're looking for, the types of careers that might be available? If either of you could touch on those.
Well, right now we're currently fully staffed.
Good news, because that's rare.
It is, yes. So we do admissions for both home care and hospice 24 hours. We always have a nurse on call. If you wake up in the middle of the night and you want a nurse to come out to assess you, or you feel like things aren't right and you're not sure if you should go into the ER.
Always call.
Yes, so we always have a nurse on call that can come out and do an assessment.
I bet a lot of different levels of nursing careers that are available too.
Yeah. And, we're just looking for people that have a passion, in particular working with older adults, and have that, sensitivity to just being patient, compassionate. Not that doesn't exist in other areas with different generations, but it's just having that, and in particular, I'm just kind of putting hospice in the back of my mind, but that call. Yeah. Having that purpose and that mission in their heart to be
it's not just
kind
a job.
Provider. Yes.
You're really taking care of people.
Yes. And it's a genuine thing.
Yeah. A lot of times I hear the staff say, oh, I treat them as if they were my grandma or grandpa or uncle, or they really become part of their family, essentially. They see them frequently and they get attached.
Oh, definitely.
And when I bring the local staff to events such as, like, we're going to do Showcase of Fergus Falls.
Coming up in March?
Yeah, and we'll have a booth there, and I'll bring local staff with me to do that. And most of the time they end up being a hugging machine. I never actually get them to help me with the booth because they're busy out hugging and talking to people, and it's amazing.
Clients they've served in the past, clients are currently serving.
And I hear so many wonderful stories as I'm working, events out in the community about how, their nurse, helped them through their situation, and special things that they did and little tips to kind of help them get through what they were getting through. And I don't know how many times I've thrown out those rewarding emails about I had another testimony at this event and another person came up. So our team they're like rock stars. That's all I can say. Mm-hmm. They're highly skilled. A lot of them have different certifications. Thank you.
See, what a team.
I know, bring the marketer and the nurse, right? Yep. Yeah. And so they're just great. They just, like I said, I can't say enough good things about them. So, yeah.
Well, and you mentioned being at Showcase Fergus Falls as one of the ways that you're out in the community where people can get to know a little bit more about Canute Nelson. How do folks start that process? I can imagine that if you've never used home care, that you're like, okay, I don't even know where to start. You start hearing about Medicare and is this covered and when do I call and is it bad enough, or am I, So give us maybe some insight on things that people can look for, or whether they're a couple or whether it's maybe an aging parent, or what are some of those things that kind of triggers that call?
So we do need a doctor's order to start services. So I would say start with talking with your doctor. Some common red flags that might trigger home care would be frequent hospitalizations or frequent ER visits.
Sure.
If you're falling more than you used to, if you feel like your balance is kind of off. If you're just not feeling right, or if you have questions about your medications, maybe a new wound, or any changes in your medical condition, that'd be a good time to start the conversation with your doctor about maybe let's just have home care come out and see what they can help with.
Sure.
Yep.
Med management's another one, and we also do have technology offerings.
So talk a little bit about both of those, med management and the technology.
Well, and I'm going to toss that back to Brittany
All
because
right.
she's the expert.
So we do have med machines, and it's a little machine that we set up your pills in, and it'll beep when you need to take your meds, and then when it goes off, you just dump your pills out of your machine.
Kind of like a gumball machine.
Yeah. We also have safety alert buttons. Some of them have fall detection, so if it senses that you fall, it will call whoever you have listed on your contacts. And then we do have other monitoring. It's called HRS technology that we're fairly new to, but getting more and more out in the community, and
Okay.
We're always looking at new ways to be able to keep a closer eye on our clients and to recognize, hey, their blood pressure's been off. It's time that we, get in touch with their doctor, or any way we can keep a close eye on it.
And I loved it because it's a tablet, and it's smart technology, but you don't have to be smart to use it.
Yeah.
Nice.
So it is just so
Very user-friendly.
Yeah, it's very
Yeah.
user friendly. You can take your vitals through it. You can video conference. There's other things that happen, and your vitals are monitored and reported up. And that's why sometimes if there's a red flag, if you're recovering from a stroke or you have other blood pressure issues, that type of thing, it flags the nurse to get in touch with you right away, kind of thing, to kind of
You don't have to think about it even.
check what's going on. So that's really great. So that's one of the things too.
You guys really have a wide variety of services that
Yes.
are available. I mean, and for so many different needs.
Right, and the other one too is hospice. I wanted to touch on
Yes.
too. So we're also here in the Fergus Falls area for hospice, and just an amazing team. I can't say enough. I mean, our home care team's awesome. Our hospice team is awesome too. Local team, and we have 24/7 admissions. And we also do family consultations for free.
Okay.
So if
So if you're wondering, if you're thinking,
Yeah.
how do we start the conversation?
Right.
Because that's not a subject most people want to talk about. They'd probably rather talk about politics than when you think about it,
it is a hard conversation.
yeah, hard conversation. But you guys are so skilled
Yes.
at getting those discussions started, getting the conversation started.
And we have wonderful nurses and social workers that'll come out and just, talk a lot about it. And, quite honestly, that leads me to the other thing too, is they'll dispel a lot of the misunderstandings about hospice.
Right. It's not just for cancer.
No.
That's what a lot of people will think. Oh, well, I don't have cancer, so I don't need hospice. Well, that's...
It's actually calling the shots on living out your life and how you want things to go, and
taking control of things versus letting things
yes,
happen.
and enjoying and making the quality of your days the best that they can be.
Right.
So, it's just, it's such a heartfelt topic to me. But our team, we have ministry, we have massage therapy, aromatherapy, counselors, social workers, grief support for after your loved one passes, for 13 months and that type of thing. And it like I said, there's so many myths about hospice. We actually have a really great presentation that we love to get out in the community, to civic groups, to senior groups, anyone who
maybe even a church group,
those type of things. And it's called Myths and Truths of Hospice.
Sure.
And we have a hospice director or a director of nursing come out and talk a little bit about it, because people graduate off of hospice.
Mm-hmm. And that's something that I think people don't know too, is that you can,
you get better,
get your diploma and move on.
Yeah, like you can. There's people that have come off of hospice and lived several years after that, very fulfilling lives and days, and got to experience that hospice philosophy. And so that's one of our things that we like to get out in the community and educate more on. And the other one would be on our home care side, just the active aging, how to stay active, some of those things, because we get cooped up in Minnesota winters, and we don't get up and walk as much as we should.
Right.
We probably don't eat as well as we should, and that all kind of comes into play, because when spring comes around, we got more creaks and cracks going on when we get out, and maybe not as limber as we once were back in the fall. So just some really great educations that we get out in the community. And we partner with the Fergus Falls Senior Center and do quite a bit of education with Kathy Spory and that group at the Fergus Falls Senior Center. So we're actually on the docket for May, and we're going to be doing home care team approach on May 20th at the Fergus Falls Senior Center.
Right. You're getting the word out there in a variety of different ways, whether it's individual consultations with families and with folks, willingness to go out and visit with some of the civic clubs or church groups or women's groups or whatever type of group you want to get together. Maybe it's just a group of neighbors. Invite Nicole out and she'll come and share the story.
I'll come share. I love to talk. But I also have a wonderful supportive team, and Brittany is one of those folks. So either myself or one of our directors or case managers or regional managers. So.
You know, and there is just so much information, and you guys provide so many services, and have now for 70 years in the area. That's pretty amazing.
It is.
And think of all the people that you've helped and all the families that you've cared for over the years. Pretty amazing. And I think, I bet there are people that are watching now that see the Canute Nelson logo, or they hear the name and they go, oh yeah, I know about them.
Yep.
And we've got some great stories to tell too, to share with our friends and neighbors and whatnot with that. So if folks are looking for more information, or they're looking to start the process, or they just want to know more about Canute Nelson Home Care and Hospice, what's the best place to turn?
Well, I would say our website is very informational. We have quite a bit on there, and we can do a referral through our website, and that's canutenelson.org, because we are an organization.
Yep.
And then also to our local number here in Fergus is 218-736-4098.
Right.
So, and we're in the phone book.
Yeah, which is a good thing.
And if you come to any of my events, I always have stuff with our phone number and information on it. And so reach out to myself, Nicole, or Brittany, and we'd be happy to give you more information.
And we absolutely loved having you as an office mate when we were
I know, it was fun.
Located on Union Avenue. And that's one thing, too, is that because you're out in the community, you're not always staffed at the office. So dropping by is maybe not the best idea, but giving a call and setting something up, and you can come out to folks and visit with them too. So
exactly.
You're willing to travel even in spite of the cold weather.
Yes. Yes.
Well, is there anything else that we should touch on to share with folks about Canute Nelson?
Just that we're a great organization, and give us a try when you have those things come up and you have that talk with your doctor. Ask for Canute Nelson.
Sounds good. Well, thanks, ladies, for joining us on the show today. And again, congratulations on 70 years of service. We appreciate it.
Awesome. Thanks for having us.
You bet. We'll be back after a little break.
No matter how you connect, Park Region Telephone and Ottertail Telecom delivers fast, reliable internet and secure, powerful Wi-Fi throughout your home for intense gaming, easy sharing, and buffer-free streaming on every device all at once. With local experts ready to help. Connect to faster internet. Connect to smart Wi-Fi. Connect to now. Call or click Park Region Telephone and Ottertail Telecom to upgrade today.
Well, thanks again for joining us on Find It in Fergus Falls. I want to thank our great guests today, Nicole and Brittany, for joining us from Canute Nelson Home Care and Hospice. And as I mentioned, Showcase Fergus Falls, that's our big trade show that's coming up on Tuesday, March 19th. I encourage you as a business to get registered for that event, to have a booth at our trade show. You can find out more about that on our website at fergusfalls.com. Of course, you can find out more about the Chamber, our members, and all the great activities also on our website at fergusfalls.com. I'm Lisa Workman. This has been Find It in Fergus Falls, and we'll see you again next week.